Well, on from the last video, I decided to take the heads off and have a look on them other two engines because, well, it's really easy on these. So this is the grotty one, the one I said it looked disgusting. And yeah, under here don't look pretty, but in all honesty, looks fine. No real lip on the balls, no big scratches I can see. Looks about on par with that one. So now, this is this one that I'm sure is low miles, but it looks the shittest from the outside. So this is, I've undone these, but I haven't even looked yet. I thought, well, better show you lot. Let's have a look. That's not bad. Not bad. Got a clean under there. Right, so I've got the heads off everything now. So this is the grottiest one, and even with the head off, it still looks the grottiest one. It's all a bit oily and just coked up to fuck and horrible. Inside the cylinders, it's all right, but there's rust marks and stuff where it's been sat for a while. It's usable. It's not damaged by the looks of it, but could do better than that. The really shit one though, the one that I thought had real low miles though, so while it looks shit on the outside, might have been good on the inside. Yeah, I think that wins. This is the head. Super clean. Mega clean in fact. I mean look, it's not even dirted up the combustion chambers properly. Yeah. Very clean. Even the deck surface is perfect. It's yeah, very good. Inside the waterways, you can't really see, but it looks like new. And the engine itself, it looks like shit from here, but I don't know if you can see, you probably can't, it's real dirty and horrible, but you can see still evidence of cross action on the cylinder walls on at least, well, I think all of them, which means it's not had much of a hard life at all. I mean, even to do that many miles and still have the cross action on kind of says it's had a fairly easy life, so I reckon this one wins. There you go. Sketchiest ways of removing engines from cars. Use the cam belt. So, yeah.
That's no, it's truly impressive one.
No, it works.
It does.
It works. It loves it. To be honest, these Volvo engines aren't that heavy.
Does it still turn over?
Yeah. I bet it'll turn over like this.
Do you plan to reuse the camber?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, they're quite expensive. Well, I stripped it down and sump off, stripped it down. Looks alright. It was all black and oily. Obviously had not had that regular servicing. I just brake cleaned the shit out of it so I could kind of have a better view at what's going on. All looks good. It's actually got oil squirters. I know it's a later block that's drilled for squirters because that's what the humps are, but I honestly didn't expect it to be an actual block with oil squirters installed, but it is. I've never even looked into it. I don't know what years he started having oil squirters, but I didn't even know if B200s had oil squirters, to be honest. I've never looked into it because I don't think, you know, it's a bonus, but it's not like a big deal. But yeah, it looks alright. I guess the next thing I'm gonna have to do is take out the pistons and rods, see what the bearings are saying, and Same again with the crank, really. I might as well strip it all the way down, make sure everything's good. Well, here's the engine now as it stands, cleaned up. Looks alright, to be honest. The only thing on the cylinder walls, you can see cross-hatching on them, but one of them has got, I don't even know where it is because it is small, but I have noticed like a scratch. You can feel it with your tip of your fingernail, you can't feel it otherwise, but I reckon it had just hone out, to be honest. Just gonna put one of those fucking dingle ball hone things through it, and I reckon it'll be fine. I'll show Thomas tomorrow, see what he thinks. He's got a lot more experience of this than me, so he can tell me if it's too much. I think it's fine, but yeah, I don't want to bother putting this together and it being bad. One thing I noticed on this engine, it's a 94, I think, and it's a squirter block, as in it's got the lumps. It's like a thicker block with the lumps for the oil squirters, but most of the time when I've seen these, they still haven't got oil squirters, they've just got the lumps for it. But this one, A, has got them, and B, has this, which I've never seen either, which is, that's normally where the mechanical fuel pump goes on early, you know, carburetor models. And all cars, all the fuel injection ones I've ever seen, it's just got like a blanking plate over that. So these two bolts hold a plate on. But this, it's not even cast with the hole. It's still got the holes drilled for the bolts, but no provision for a mechanical fuel pump. Which is, well, I guess by the time these were made, well, I would say by the time these were made, there was no carb ones, but I mean, the one in the Volvo now is a 93 block, and that's still got the block-off plate. But yeah, I thought they carried on with the block-off plates till forever, but this one isn't. So yeah, I've learned something. Maybe you knew, but I fucking didn't. So yeah, overall looks alright. Obviously needs a good paint. I haven't took it apart yet. Next job will be take the pistons and rods out and look at the bearings, and same with the crank probably. To be honest, I'll probably only take the crank out if, when I take the main caps off, the bearings on that side look a bit iffy. But if they don't, I think I'll just leave it. Right, I've took the pistons and rods out, oil pump off, and as you can see, I've taken off, what, one by one. I've removed all the mains caps and had a look at the bearings there. Don't suppose there's really much I can show you on camera, but I'll just randomly pick one. They're like new. Literally, I would say I'm going to leave the mains well alone. They look fine. The worst one I would say is number 5. I guess because it's got the most load on it, because it's got the it's where the, you know, the transmission attaches, and it's where the thrust bearing is and all that shit. But it still looks pretty much mint. Pistons and rods. Pistons, I haven't had a very good look yet, but they look okay. Bearings, you can see, look, there's some wear on them, so I reckon probably change the bearings. It makes sense. They're not, I mean, like the ones for the MX-5 engine, the boat engine one, they were mint, they were like new. But this one just kind of looks like it wasn't serviced very well. So although it hasn't had a hard life, it hasn't had much in the way of fucking oil changes. So I reckon it's probably a good bet to change those bearings. I mean, why not? I mean, I'm putting different rods in it anyway. I mean, these rods are beefy and they're probably fine, but for the sake of 200 quid, I'm going to put a set of max speeding ones in, because, wow, they're way proven to way beyond anything I'm going to do on this. And although I don't know until I take it apart, I got a sneaky suspicion the way the compression's low on that one cylinder, but without smoking or burning oil or anything, and still running on all four no problem, kind of suggests that it's maybe what happened to a friend's car, where that one rod is slightly bent and that's why the compression's lower. I know when I take it apart, but you know, I don't know. I know on like because these rods are the same as on a B230, and you know, people seem to bend these rods at like, wow, people seem to say even £350 foot they're doing them in, and I'm almost certainly beyond that. So I don't know, but I'm gonna, for the sake of 200 quid, I don't think it's worth not putting them in. Do you know what I mean? As interested as I am of putting them ones, you know, putting them ones to the limit, I just want this thing to live. So I'm out for the sake of 200 quid. I'm gonna, one of these days, I'm gonna build another B200 just for testing reasons, with pure stock all sorts, and see what I do, because I honestly think I could get a 500 breakout one on a stock bottom end, but I don't know. Anyway, that's all I can realistically do for tonight. It's dismantled. There's not much else I can do before I get parts to put it back together. I'll show Thomas tomorrow when he's in the bearings, the big end ones, because I'm fairly sure they need changing. Sometimes it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but they look like they're maybe a bit too worn for my liking. The big end ones, the main bolt, you know, the ones on the crank, the mains ones, they're fucking spot on. There's no way I'm changing them. Stuff like the rings and everything on these look good. The pistons do look beefy, that's for sure. I'm not had a close look at them yet, but they ain't breaking anytime soon unless you've got the tune wrong. But yeah, that's enough for today's shenanigans, I think, because I am fucking knackered.